Hi ladies and gentlemen, Murid here. Again, this video is going to be a non-occult based video regarding subject. So that means that I'm not going to talk about something occult related or occult based. Okay, there's a life besides the occult too. For the general occultist, it might be hard to say or to believe, but even for someone like me, I also care about things that aren't occult based or occult related in nature. Ergo, this video is going to be a neutral one. This video is just going to be a really short video about something that just came to mind and something that I thought worthy of pointing out, since no one, since I can't think of a single person that has pointed it out. And it's about dual citizenship. Okay, I often see people, for example, just now I saw a video, for example, on President Trump when he addressed, I think in Florida, he addressed Venezuelan Americans or American Venezuelans, and I thought to myself, it was by the BBC, and I thought to myself, this has to be the stupidest nonsense I've heard, or one of the stupidest things I've heard in a good while. Okay, the point simply that I want to make, okay, is the fact that there is no such thing as an American Venezuelan or Venezuelan American. You're either American or you're Venezuelan. Okay, you can't be both. You might have dual citizenship if the laws in the countries that either the country that you live in or the country that you come from. So either in this context, either America or the Venezuela, either America or Venezuela. Sorry. If either one of these or both of them allow it, okay, that's the only way. But in reality, you are not, okay, and that's just stupid. It's like saying that you're a man and a woman at the same time. That cannot be the case. You're either American or you're Venezuelan, okay. You can't honor both, even within the occult, okay. Jesus himself said you either honor God or you honor Mammon. You can't honor both. You can't worship both God and Mammon. No, that doesn't work that way. Or Mammon. Okay, whichever way or however you want to phrase it. And it's the same thing in the worthless hole that I live in, Suriname. Like I mentioned in previous videos, okay, Suriname belongs to the Netherlands. It's independent on paper, but only on paper. In reality, Suriname still belongs to the Netherlands. Practically, ask any person that actually has somewhat of a brain and they'll tell you right away. And someone who is actually familiar with Suriname, I don't think you'll have an easy time finding someone. No one cares about this hole or knows it. But in any case, the one or two that do, ask them and they'll tell you right away. Okay, the general things that you hear is that it belongs to the Netherlands, and it's the same thing. The Netherlands, unfortunately, like the rest of the West, is crumbling. Okay, liberals are ruining everything, civil unrest. The divide and the gap widens between Democrats and Republicans, or people that are alt-right like me and people that are alt-left or liberals, you name it. And yeah, leftists, obviously they enjoy migration, mass migration and all of that, and it's no different than for the Netherlands. Okay, in certain parts of the Netherlands like Rotterdam and so on, you'll be hard pressed, or you'll have tremendous difficulty finding an actual Dutch person. We're talking about a white Dutch person. You'll find outsiders that migrated or whose parents or forefathers migrated, either Moroccans or Turks or Surinamese, and most of these, okay, are parasites. I'm not gonna lie. They dare to actually wave their flag around in popular media, for example, in a music video, or in during a soccer match or whatever. Okay. But this isn't something that you see. This isn't something that you see for the first time. This is something that happens regularly, and of course, I think it's absolute nonsense. Okay, I would never allow that to happen or that to be the case if I were the leader of a country like the Netherlands. Okay, if you make the decision to move from a worthless hole like here to the Netherlands, then you honor the Netherlands. Period. You can't have it both ways. No dual citizenship. No nothing. Okay. Okay, and even if dual citizenship is allowed, that's only on paper. That's only for judicial purposes, okay, for lawful based purposes, but not in reality. You can't have it both ways. Okay, you either pledge loyalty to one or the other, but you can't have it both ways, and that's my point. I would never allow that. If I saw, for example, a soccer player that plays for the Netherlands and has roots in either Suriname or Morocco, wave around with either Suriname's or Morocco's flag, I would just go to town on that person. I would absolutely and utterly destroy that person. I'd strip away that person's citizenship, everything. I would have had that person deported like that. I don't mess around in that regard, okay? And it's obvious too at this point that I am an alt-rightist, and I'm not just alt-right, I'm extremely alt-right. Nationalism and self-value goes above everything for me when it comes to the political spectrum or from a political spectrum. So yeah, it's just ridiculous, okay? Yeah, I've seen it before. I've seen it in music videos, and I'm like, what kind of nonsense is that, honestly? And yeah, what do you expect their motives are when because this is the pinnacle of hypocrisy, okay? This is the absolute pinnacle of hypocrisy. You can't get any more hypocritical than that, or you'll have tremendous difficulty doing so, okay? But yeah, what do you think the reason is? Most of these people are worthless parasites. In their own countries of origin, they have nothing. Morocco, Suriname, these countries are worthless. There is nothing. No good economy, no expansive opportunities, no nothing. In the Netherlands, in a country like the Netherlands, for example, you have an actual living standard, okay? Even the Netherlands in its current deplorable state, as it's crumbling as it is, it's still, the Netherlands is still one of the best countries of the world to live in, okay? Top 20, top 25. You'll find with regularly in international or global rankings, it's still one of the best countries to live in. And that's my point, that's what I'm talking about, okay? Why do you think these guys come? These guys come because they're worthless parasite, and most Dutch people, for example, and most Westerners don't want them too, okay? But again, liberalism basically shoves migrants, and including these kind of people, down the throats of the indigenous population, okay, the original population. And I just think it's absolutely ridiculous, like I said, okay? You're either one or the other. If you've made the decision to move, for example, from Turkey to the Netherlands or Belgium, then you need to leave Turkey behind, okay? You've decided to settle there, you've managed to get all the paperwork and all your affairs in order to the point where you can actually settle in the Netherlands or Belgium. Then you honor the Netherlands or Belgium, whichever one you determine to stay in for the rest of your life. But you can't possibly go over there and then boast about how beautiful Turkey is and everything. Because the first thing that any sensible person will ask you is, what the hell, what in God's name are you doing here if you love Turkey so much? But I already know the answer. Oh, that's right. In your own country of origin, there's nothing. You're just a worthless parasite that's trying to leech off of the country's resources. In your own country of origin, you literally have nothing. Your country is a worthless whole. You have nothing, literally nothing, no quality of life whatsoever, you have nothing. And then you move to here, okay, that's actually worth something because you want a living standard. All the while glorifying your country of birth or origin or origin. So again, what does that make you? A worthless parasite. This is just a mere example, okay? I'm not just referring to the Netherlands and its migrant populace, okay? For example, Surinamese people, Moroccans, and all of that. I'm not referring to that. That's just an example, okay? You've got the case too with Americans and a bunch of migrants that have moved to the US. We're talking about Haitians, you name it, all kinds of population, all kinds of people, Mexicans, the same deal, okay? If you love Mexico so much, then what the hell are you doing in the US? Oh, that's right. Mexico doesn't even come close to being as valuable as the US is. Even the US in its current unstable state, politically unstable and uncivil state, is still 1,000 times better than Mexico. You moved from Mexico to the US because the US is actually worth something, whereas in Mexico you have nothing. And yet you're stupid enough to actually boast about Mexico, and you actually have the balls to bring your culture with you, speaking Spanish at home or within the household. How in God's name do you expect the original population, we're talking about homegrown Americans, to actually respect you? I wouldn't respect you. I'd call you what you are, a worthless parasite. And if you make one false move, I just would have chopped you down right where you stood. But again, liberalism, okay? And that's just something that I wanted to point out, okay? You can be both. You either honor your country of origin or the country that you move to. If I move from one house to the other, I don't care about the other house anymore. I might go back and visit every now and then, but I've made the choice to move to, for example, this new house. So I honor this new house. This new house will have my brand and everything on it. Okay, my previous house is just a past memory. It's literally what it is. It's the past. End of story. But you can't have it both ways. You can't honor both houses unless both houses, okay, in this example, belong to you or fall under your ownership. But generally speaking, I'm referring in this metaphor to a house that I left behind, literally, that I don't own anymore. So I'm done with it, period. That's what I'm referring to. And again, this is obvious, but again, this is just a perfect, a crystal clear example of how worthless people can be, or what is supposed to pass for people. Again, these people, quote unquote people, they hold no love for most of them, the Western countries that they move to. They just move to these countries because they seek opportunity, they seek a better life, specifically money. They seek money. Whereas in the worthless holes that they were born in, that are supposed to pass for countries, they have nothing. No job opportunities, or significantly less job opportunities, no living standard, no nothing. They have nothing, period. So again, it's just sad. It just saddens me. Okay, and I just thought that it was something that I would shed light on, or that I would just discuss. Okay. This is going in the neutral playlist, okay? Again, I'm not all about the occult. There is a life outside the occult too. And hence me thinking about shooting this video and about sharing this with my followers. Think what you will of it, okay? You're free to think what you will or speak your mind, generally speaking, as long as it's in an appropriate context. But yeah, that is all, okay? I've seen this more often than not. And the only thing that I can say, if I were the president of a country, of such a country, a Western country or anything, I would never allow it. I'm not kidding, okay? The person that has the balls to actually run around with his country of origin's flag, I don't know, your grandparents came from Chile or Ecuador, okay, and yet you have the balls to actually run around during a global event with your country of origin's flag when you clearly live and have settled in my country, then nah. I would have had your ass packed, okay? I would have sent you packing like that. I would have stripped everything away. It doesn't matter what you have, a house, it does not matter. Okay, the state will, but I would have had the state buy that house. Of course, it's easier said than done, but nah. I'd have a zero tolerance policy for that, okay? If you move to my country, then you either honor my country, you decided to settle here, you honor the country, and that's that. But you do not pull something like that, because all that gives away is that you're a worthless parasite. You're just in my country for money and all the good things that my country has to offer, all the while just literally and figuratively speaking, all the while just honoring in your heart and in your household, most likely, your country of origin, and that is unacceptable. That's all. Bye.